Ladies and gentlemen, this is UX and this is, I'm guessing it's a joke title, Smoking is Awesome by the channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Yeah, I guess Kurzgesagt is doing that right now, right? It's like, puppies will kill you by their cuteness, something like that. So yeah, obviously smoking tobacco, right? Only issue in that, not only, I think issue in that is like nicotine, right? Nicotine itself is also like addictive, but I think smoking all around is like damaging to your lungs, right? That's when nicotine patches is like used as a good thing to, I guess, get off the addiction without actually, inhaling smoke. Now, when it comes to digesting things, right? Shooting something in your bloodstream directly is the fastest way. I'm guessing the second next one is smoking. Through your lungs, it can get inside your bloodstream faster. Then last one is obviously consuming it, because I don't know, acids in your stomach and things slows down the process. So yeah, when you take pills and things, I'm guessing that's going to be a bit slower. No, it's whenever you take some pain pills or something, I'm pretty sure they take something like an hour to work, right? But smoking kind of instantly works, like it just barely a few minutes. Now, I don't smoke, right? So I don't know what's, but I understand addiction, like how addiction works, right? I think I smoked, I'm guessing once, but I don't know, I didn't feel anything. It was just annoying at first, and that's it. I've heard people talking about like only reason people like smoking because it's a habit and it's like perceived coolness around it rather than actually having any benefit. Like, I don't know, like something like opioids and things actually triggers feel good chemicals in your head. Smoking doesn't have something like that. As far as I remember, that's the case, but I don't know. So obviously, because I talk about like smoking, nicotine, tobacco, all things around it is going to be awesome. Let's watch it.
The problem with smoking is that it's kind of amazing. This is an irresponsible thing to say, but if we're going to talk about it, we might as well do so honestly. Smoking creates a temporary problem and offers an instant solution. Once your brain is used to nicotine, for up to 72 hours you're itchy, nervous and stressed. But one drag and instantly you feel really good. But it's way more than just a physical addiction. Smoking helps you focus at work and is an excuse to take regular breaks, which is good for you mentally. It's a tool against boredom, it suppresses your appetite.
So it's like taurine and theanine, I'm guessing. Not thiamine. Theanine just calms you down a bit. I'm guessing that's all. So basically this like, I take pre-workout, a lot of workout, so I know what taurine and theanine, how they work. I actually felt it work. I take high enough doses, right? So if that's the case with the smoking, I understand how it can become addiction. Because in the modern world, especially in the modern world, things can be overwhelming a lot. Focusing itself might become a challenge. So people doing that just to focus, I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know. Like I said, I only did it once and it just like didn't give me anything. So I'm like, what the hell? It's just smoking. It's just literal smoke that hurts your throat or something. I didn't feel anything, but I'm guessing in once you can't feel it. Is that it?
Makes bad moments feel less bad and good moments better. It's social, fun together, and a good way to make friends as smokers always group up. Your lips are one of the most sensitive parts of your body, and putting something between them is deeply satisfying. So now that we've given smoking an honest introduction, let's smoke a cigarette together to see why it makes you feel so good and what exactly happens inside your body when you do it. The best worst thing. A cigarette is dried tobacco leaves mixed with chemicals that make it burn slowly, helping you to absorb nicotine and flavors that make the smoke less harsh. Let's light it. Cigarette smoke is 95% gases like carbon dioxide and water vapor. The remaining 5% are particles called tar, and they contain the magic sauce, carbon or nitrogen compounds filled with nicotine. As you inhale, billions of particles interact with everything they pass through, getting stuck on your throat, tongue and trachea. Your lungs are like big inflatable sponges and have a filter and barrier, the cilia cells with hair-like extensions covered by a layer of mucus. They trap dust or bacteria to be swept away in a sort of dance. Tar particles land in the mucus and turn into a sticky brown substance that stops the dance and paralyzes the cilia, allowing them to get deeper into your lungs to the alveoli. Alveoli are little air sacs, and here's where your actual breathing happens. They have very thin walls so that oxygen can transfer to your blood and carbon dioxide can leave. Now the magic is released. Nicotine passes through the thin walls and enters your bloodstream, reaching your brain so fast that it feels instant. The positive effect arrives right away. If your brain had a control board, smoking would be like pressing all the buttons at once, releasing loads of transmitters and hormones that affect your whole body. Epinephrine and cortisol make your heart beat faster and your body ready for action. Dopamine makes you feel happy and relaxed and reduces your appetite. Beta endorphins reduce pain and stress. Nicotine excites and calms at the same time. You become more alert and able to focus, your nerves become more sensitive to pleasant sensations, then your whole body relaxes. Together, all of these effects just feel great. But your brain immediately tries to return to normal and pushes back against the effects of nicotine, which is fine as long as you have nicotine inside your blood, but once its effects wear off, your body is left overcompensating, creating a massive imbalance within itself. The more you smoke, the harder your body tries to push back, which is why nicotine is so addictive. You stop feeling like yourself without it. It's still great, but now you also need it just to feel normal. If that was all smoking did, well, that would be kind of okay. Nicotine comes with thousands of different chemical buddies. Cadmium, lead, arsenic and cyanide, hydrogen peroxide or nitrogen oxides cause damage wherever they end up. Carbon monoxide reduces how much oxygen your blood can carry. In your lungs, your cilia cells struggle.
It has, obviously cyanide in it, which is obviously dangerous, but then again, a lot of food has cyanide. I guess it depends how much you inhale it. If you're smoking a lot, obviously that would be dangerous. Carbon monoxide, right? That's basically when you blow candles and things, right? With the black smoke comes out, there usually is, a lot of carbon monoxide in it. As soon as you smell it, like, what the fuck is that, right? That's what that is. So yeah, they're all damaging. And as far as, body gets used to it, that's applied to everything. And that is like one of the key things, right? Because, whenever you do something, eventually your body will adapt to it. Not just adapt to it, like, shift to normalness. Just to, like, if you're like taking something that just makes you feel good, body's normal levels will, low down or something, right? Lower it. So in the end, it becomes all average out, right? And that's what people say, like you hit plateau of whatever, right? Even working out has plateau because of this reason. Your body will fight it to become normal, right? Because your body knows too much of things, your body is gonna go haywire, right? Our systems are so good that it always finds a way to adapt, and that is the key word. Otherwise, we won't be here as a species. So if you smoke too much, whatever benefits are there eventually will go away, and as soon as you stop, your body will not be normal for a good enough time until it can recalibrate, right? For whatever, I don't know how long it remains, but you see people like sweating and just going to rehab. That's what that is. So people have this misconception about addiction as well. Some people think addiction is just something you just want it because it feels good. But there are two types of addiction. Addiction is just like, oh, something feels good, I want it because I don't want to sit somewhere depressed or something. That's a want addiction. Another addiction is body addiction, right? Your body actually needs it. If you don't, you'll start to shake, you start to sweat. So people confuse between those, right? Sometimes people just don't do it. It's like you need a bigger program if you're addicted to something, if your body is actually addicted to something like that physically.
It's hard to push mucus clogged up with tar, and some of your cilia cells die. Your alveoli are super sensitive and can't handle this sort of stress. A few of your tiny air sacs pop like balloons, causing irreparable damage. Your body needs to get rid of all this tar immediately. Goblet cells pump out extra mucus to compensate, which makes breathing harder, so you start coughing to get the tar and mucus out. Your immune system activates and macrophages begin eating up tar particles. Smokers have way more of these cleanup cells here because their lungs are literally full of dirt. But the nicotine makes the macrophages sluggish and inefficient. Worse, they vomit chemicals that dissolve your lung tissue and cause tiny wounds that turn into scar tissue. Scars in your lungs are bad if you like breathing. Nicotine
Basically, if anything inflatable, think of a balloon and you put like certain like patches on top of it, like Band-Aid or something. It will not be able to like fully, like inflate now, right? There'll be parts that has gaps and things. Basically the same thing. A rubber, if there is like a crack and you try to like repair it, it won't be able to, like, as elasticity won't be there. So if your lungs have that many scars, it won't be able to inflate. So you can't breathe, like deep breathing and things becomes an issue.
Raises your heart rate while ordering blood vessels all over your body to constrict. Meanwhile, toxic chemicals get stuck, causing countless tiny wounds all over your body that will turn into scars. Those scars leak proteins that create random blood clots, making your blood vessels even narrower. Constricted and narrow vessels put a lot of stress on your heart muscle that has to work much harder to keep blood flowing. Inside your skin, the chemicals trigger enzymes that break down collagen, the protein that makes your skin elastic and smooth. This creates folds and wrinkles. Your skin ages much quicker and you look older sooner. But maybe the worst thing is what happens to your immune system. All over your body it reacts to tiny wounds and activates, fighting an invisible enemy, damaging healthy cells in the process. While at the same time, the nicotine makes it slow and sluggish. Worse at fighting actual diseases. We could go on like this, but this is getting old. In a nutshell, every single one of your organs is highly stressed and suffers some kind of permanent damage. Over time, fats get stuck in the scars inside blood vessels, which get narrower and narrower until they start to suffocate your organs. Your overworked heart beats even harder to push blood through the extra resistance, and your blood pressure rises. So hard that fluids seep out of blood vessels into your lungs, which makes breathing even harder. The likelihood of a blood...
See, every time people watch something and they hear something, and they will be like, I know a person who's like healthy enough, is like 70 now, has always smoked in his life. Yeah, because people are different. Somebody has too strong of an immune system and overall bodily function because of genetics or something. That is not a norm, right? It's saying the same thing like this, like, I saw Lewis Hamilton, driving his car 150 miles per hour and didn't hit anything. Yeah, but you're not that, are you? So, yeah, but I see that a lot. Yeah, medical science says this, but that guy is just fine. That's not much of anything, right? There are 8 billion people on the planet. You're going to talk about just some few that are really stronger in that way? Come on.
Blood clot blocking a critical passage in the body rises enormously, which can eventually cause a heart attack or a stroke. Almost all smokers eventually get chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So many of your alveoli are irreversibly destroyed that you're always short of breath, never able to breathe freely. Once you have it, it can only get worse, never better again. Finally, there's cancer. You get a sort of double whammy. On the one hand, you flood your whole system and especially your lungs with at least 70 highly cancer-causing chemicals. And on the other hand, you paralyze the part of your immune system that kills and prevents cancer.
Not to mention lead, right? Lead is disastrous for your brain. It literally blocks the pathways, right? So you'll actually be stupider going forward. You'll just think that because you're aging, you're becoming stupider, but something like this is the cause. So many things as contaminants that can fuck with your brain activity. You just assume that because you're getting older, you're not sharp, but not really. I mean, sure, there is that, but other things are, attributing to that as well.
This is why cancer is so likely in smokers. Ultimately, smoking is uniquely dangerous among the things you are legally allowed to do. The average smoker loses 10 years of life, which means that some lose like 5 years and others more like 25. You don't know which one will be you, but it cuts into your health span even more, making a much...
Not to mention insta-death because of strong cancer. That can also happen. If you just have combination of like bad luck, just enough combination of genetics that just somehow makes you susceptible to strong lung cancer, and you do this, before you know it, you have it stage 3 or something, and there you go, you're screwed basically, right? Again, like I said, people give example, that guy is fine, that guy is fine. All humans are not the same. It's like a million different things, and combination of million those other things that can give you strength and weaknesses. You don't know what your weakness is, because we don't have that kind of like, we can't scan for those strength and weaknesses like that. One day maybe, but not now. So there's many combinations that makes you, right? You might be susceptible to one thing, stronger in other thing. You can't know that.
Much larger part of your life spent being chronically sick. Oof. So why don't smokers not just like stop doing it? Smokers are often seen as unhinged or without discipline, which is unfair. Nicotine is one of the most physically and psychologically addictive substances known to humanity. If you ever start using it, you'll likely struggle with it for the rest of your life. The physical addiction lasts around 3 days, but the psychological addiction is much harder to overcome because you form strong habits and it's connected to many social cues, like hanging out with friends or winding down from work. The perverse thing is that almost everybody who starts smoking as a teenager. The tobacco industry
Addiction is a really strong thing. People who don't have it will never understand it. Like I said, I've taken tramadols because of pain. Even in a low doses, right? I've felt the difference. If I take one every day, first time it will feel good, second day will be fine, third day will be like, okay, normal. Fourth day, you won't really feel it. And it's not like you get used to it something. I've noticed that. Even if I take 2 days gap and take the third day, now suddenly it's like the first day again. Your body gets used to it a lot, right? I've never gone to high doses where like I have to have this type of way. Whether it's like body demanding it or just like psychologically I want to, I don't know. But people really need to understand what psychological element is, right? I mean, people like to do challenges all day long, right? I mean, challenge yourself something that is psychologically taxing for a day and you realize like how easy it is and how hard it can be psychologically to do something. So if you just know that if you know my life is shit right now, something is happening in my life with this, my job, my that, and just like 24/7 after like like 16 hours or something, you're just like constantly depressed and you realize I can do all those things but still have this pill that would make me feel good. It would be really impossible for you to not take it, right? You need to have real strong mental strength, and which most people can't, just doesn't have it, right? And even if they try to have it, something in their life will basically push them to the edge and like fuck it, I'm just. So yeah, people just said, oh look at that, it's like weak-minded, just like weak-minded and addicted. That's not, people's lives are different, right? You can understand how somebody can get addicted to something.
Has to target vulnerable brains and get them hooked on the pleasurable effects of nicotine, or it would go away. Today, about 1 billion people will light a cigarette, which is a lot, but at least the trends are looking good. In 2000, 34% of adults were smoking. In 2020, it was only 23%. Still, in 2023, about 8 million people died from it. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are many successful strategies for quitting. We've put links to some in the video description. People who stop smoking by the age of 35 on average don't die earlier than non-smokers. If you're older than that, even quitting late can add years to your life. It's a bit like with climate change. Every bit counts, even if damage has already been done. We're not the morality or health police, you do you. But at least be aware what exactly you're doing and why you're doing it. Most of you watching this don't smoke, so, well, just maybe never try it. Smoking only really solves a temporary problem, but it creates loads of permanent ones. Good thing I never started. But it's not like I never do things I know I shouldn't, like using sketchy free Wi-Fis or downloading.
It's an ad, okay. I thought, wait a minute, what does it have to do with cigarette? But yeah, I saw the advertisement. Yes, go to nordvpn.com/Kurzgesagt and support this channel. Yeah, I like how he's going outside of his normal things, which is good, right? Kurzgesagt is a really great channel for this, right? It's trying to do different things. Even though it knows it's like 22 million subscribers, right? People can get pissed off at it, but just like, okay, I'm gonna try things. What is it called? Health police. That's an actual thing now. It's like saying good police. Being healthy is a problem now, come on. Or don't be, basically people, when the people say don't be health police, it's like don't be like someone who just like look down upon people type of way, not really like health is bad or something. So there are many problems around addressing this as well, because people just assumes like you're looking down upon people, and a lot of them actually do that, right? Oh, he's addicted, he's a weak-minded. Not really, right? There are many things going on, but yeah, smoking is just effed up, right? When it comes to tobacco smoking, things like that. Right, when it comes to marijuana or something, I think I know there are like benefits, especially when people have cancer and things. But smoking can still be damaging. Who knows? So long term, even that could be a problem. I don't know much about that. But yeah, when it comes to tobacco, it's just like there is not a single. It's even in global warming, you'll find some people that's like, oh, global warming is not real. When it comes to even like 10 out of 1 scientist would say that like global warming is not real. But when it comes to tobacco, everybody agrees like this is just fucked up. So this is one of those things in everyday life what we take in. Smoking is the worst when it comes to tobacco smoking and things like that. Alright, well, that was Smoking is Awesome. Apparently that's the title. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.